Welcome to the WalaWay. This is Imran Lawala, and I'm joined once again by my esteemed colleague. His name is Ahmed, but from now on we're going to refer to him as Mut.
Yes, sir.
And we never got to the origin story of that name, man. So why don't you start there? How do we get you this name?
Um, so on my basketball team, there's another Ahmed.
Oh,
So they're my teammates and my coaches would get confused, like, "Oh, Ahmed." And we both look, and it's like, you know what, Ahmed? The first three letters of your name is Mutt. Mutt kind of flows. And we're just gonna call you Mutt from now on.
I thought it was more like a pit bull, like you were like a dog on defense or something, or you go after it, so they called you Mut. No?
No, no correlation there.
All right, man. Hey, good. We learn something every day, man. But
There.
good to be back, man. And we're about two games into the playoffs in the first round, and there's been some. I mean, I've been very happy with the playoffs so far. I'm not happy with all the games in terms of the results of some of the games, but in terms of the competition level or lack of competition level, I think there's been some surprises. A lot of these games have come down to the last minute. The OKC game, the New York game. There was another. Who else played yesterday? A couple of games have the Denver game, the
Mavericks. Yeah.
Dallas game, which we'll get to. So why don't we do this? I'm gonna share my screen real quick just so we can take a look at the seedings right now. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's a little zoomed out though, but I can see.
It's a little zoomed out. Okay. All right, I'll go over it. So basically, what we've had is Thunder, Pelicans, Clippers, Mavericks, Timberwolves, Suns, Nuggets, Lakers, Celtic, Heat, Cavaliers, Magic, Bucks and Pacers, and Knicks and Sixers. So where do you want to start, brother?
I know we're kind of late, but do you want to get our picks in?
Didn't we do picks?
I think we just did our award picks,
Oh,
and then we
okay.
kind of did a hypothetical with the play-in.
Okay. Let's. Okay. So in Thunder, Pelicans, who do you got?
Thunder Pels. I think I got Thunder in like six. That's a safe place to
Thunder,
go.
Thunder in six. Okay. I'll say Thunder in five, and then Clippers,
Honestly, New
Mavericks.
Orleans could make it interesting if Zion can stay healthy and Bi can stay healthy. It could be an interesting series for sure.
Oh, he's not coming back, is he?
Who?
Zion?
Zion. Never
I
know
don't
with
think
this
he's
guy.
coming back. No, I
Yeah,
don't think he's coming back. Clippers, Mavericks.
Mavericks and six for sure.
Mavericks in six. I'll take that. I agree. Timberwolves and Suns.
Timberwolves Suns. I think Timberwolves sweep. To be honest,
It's gonna be close, man. It might just be a Timberwolves sweep.
but I don't know, maybe KD and Book have that 80 combined points like they did last year in the playoffs, and they could steal a game or two. But I don't see a scenario where they win a game or they win the series. To be honest.
I'll say Timberwolves in five, and I agree that it doesn't look good. So Nuggets and Lakers.
We have to talk about this one. I think the Nuggets are going to sweep too.
Okay, sounds good. Boston Heat.
Heat's up 1-0? Or sorry, Boston up 1-0 or 2-0?
1-0. I think they're playing
1-0.
tonight.
I think they'll get them in the 5, 6.
Okay, I agree with that. I think you always got to give Miami that fighting chance, right? For at
Yeah.
least to get one. Cavaliers, Magic.
Magic are down 2 right now.
Yep.
I'm going to go with a hot take. I think the Magic are going to come back and win in 6.
Didn't they just lose one of their rotational
They
pieces?
lost, they lost Jalen Suggs,
Yeah.
important defensive player, but I don't know. It's going to be tough because they already struggle offensively. Paulo's really their only source of offense. I don't know. It's going to be interesting, but I think I'm going to
I,
roll with the
I
Magic.
I got Cavs in five. Um,
Dang!
Bucks. Huh?
In
Yeah.
5?
They're up 2-0, bro. They're up 2-0.
They
You
haven't
you
gone home
just
yet.
you just lost a key rotational player. I know he only plays defense, but you lost someone that you relied on all season. So
That's true.
I don't I don't know, man. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but I think that 2-0 hole, bro, especially for an inexperienced team, sometimes the mind games get to you. Because imagine if you lose the next game. Now you're down, خلاص, you're down 3-0,
But
right?
how experienced are the Cavs?
So that's a great point. But okay, number one, they got a much more experienced guard in Donovan Mitchell, right? Who's made it to multiple. second round, possibly second round Western Conference games, right? And we know playing in the West is much more difficult than playing in the East. Uh, we got my homeboy. What's his name? Allen.
Jared Allen, shout out.
He's funny. Uh, he's a he's a funny guy. Do you see him that day screaming for no reason, like just screaming
Yeah.
and yelling?
Yeah, he's wild.
Funny guy. So that's and then Bucks Pacers. It's 1-1.
Do we know when Giannis is coming back?
Let me look it up now. But I feel like I don't. Giannis.
I don't know, man. It kind of goes back to what we talked about a couple of days ago. Is like when you got a superstar player, you're never really out of a game or out of a series. So honestly, I think I'm gonna take Milwaukee in 7.
Sports Illustrated as Game 3 looms, Bucks still likely to be without Giannis. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you said Milwaukee in 7.
Yeah.
If he doesn't come back, I'll say Pacers in. Pacers in 5.
That's a
Maybe?
tough one, man.
Yeah, even without him, they've played pretty well. But if he comes back, then I think even if he's injured, it's going to completely change the
Man,
series.
Dame for some reason looks like the Dame of old without Giannis right now.
Oh, I mean, I was watching some workout videos of Dame and like how hard he works out, and all the conditioning and things he does. So, Dame, man, Dame is I like him, man. I like Dame. I feel bad to some extent because even if Giannis comes back, they could win this round, but they ain't. I don't think they're going any further than this round.
Who will they catch next round if they win? Boston?
Knicks, Sixers.
Knicks?
Yeah.
You don't think they can beat the Knicks healthy with a healthy Giannis?
The problem is they've been inconsistent since they picked up Doc. They haven't played the way people are expecting them to play. And it's like the whole Mavericks team, right? Like we're talking about the Mavericks. Like people are catching the Mavericks on an up and up, right? Towards the end of the postseason. The Knicks have been on an up and up, man. The Knicks really turned it on in that last quarter of the season. And even if you watch these two games, and we'll get into that game, it was a little controversial ending, but I really enjoyed watching that game, man. It was some clutch baskets from Hart, from Jalen Brunson, and you could tell these guys are. But wait, what happened to Randall, man?
Something with his. I don't want to say the injury, but I know he's out for the whole season with the surgery.
Dang.
I think it might have been shoulder. Don't quote me. But I know he had season-ending surgery. But honestly, I feel like they play better without him.
Which is crazy, when that happens, especially when you
Which
have
is
like
crazy to think about because he's an All NBA player.
Bro, he's like a 20 and 10 guy,
Yeah.
He's born in Dallas, Texas. Interesting. Okay. Okay, the next, and then New York. Who?
I believe he went to Prestonwood.
High school. He went to Prestonwood Christian Academy.
Yeah.
Is my screen still sharing?
I don't see your screen. I just see you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, I thought I was still sharing my screen.
No.
So, and then Knicks and Sixers, who do you got?
Knicks, Sixers, Knicks and 6.
Yeah, I didn't like the body language, even though the Sixers were right to be upset with the foul call or lack of foul call at the end. But the body language from Embiid, I didn't like it after the game, man.
Honestly, the thing with Embiid right now, I mean, what do you think he's at right now, percentage-wise, health-wise? He can't be more than 60%. He looks hobbled. He's limping. Yeah, he's unwilling to go to the paint.
Yeah.
He's just a 7'3", 2 guard right now.
Let's see what's going on with Joel. I know it's his knee.
His knee is cooked.
Yeah, but so I don't know if he's at 60, maybe 70, whatever it is. He's not at 100%. I don't think it's gonna last. I think these guys are out in 5, man. I'm giving them 5 games. So the Knicks have to bring it this third game. Philadelphia is gonna be rowdy. Yeah, so that's kind of what I feel. But do we want to talk about the second round, or should we wait? Should we save that for another episode?
We say that for another episode, I feel like.
So let's get into it, man. I know you wanted to talk about you had something to get off your chest about your boy Luca.
Yes,
So what's going on?
my boy Luca. Let's go. Last time we talked about Luca, you were pretty down on him, saying, "Oh, yeah, he's like, oh, he's too ball dominant. He's a defensive liability. Blah blah blah." And then Luca today, he was listening to the podcast. He heard Coach Ron saying all that stuff about him, and guess what he did? He
He's playing
locked
some
in
defense.
two
Yeah.
for 17, while as he was the primary defender. 5 points scored on Luka Doncic the whole game. And I know you said you didn't have a chance to watch the game. Statistically, yeah, he didn't put up those bubble numbers against the Clippers. He didn't put up 48, 16, and whatever. That's not what kind of he had the most. This is the most mature adult Luka game I've ever seen. This is the best game of his career. Statistically, obviously not. He dropped a 60-point triple-double, 70 ball, whatever. Him closing out the game, him clutch threes, clutch kickouts, just controlling the playoff game against those future Hall of Fame players. That was one of the most impressive games I've ever seen. And he proved a lot of people wrong with people saying he's too ball dominant and his defensive liability.
Yeah, I watched game one and I knew he was gonna bounce back. Obviously, I didn't know he was gonna bounce back by shutting people down defensively, but I I knew he would have a better performance. So I'm very happy that they won because had they lost this game, I would have been very worried.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
It was a must-win for sure.
Oh, bro. I mean, but the other thing is the Clippers are still so talented, right? So you still have it's gonna be a series. I don't think this series is done for either team. I think this is gonna be a series, and yeah, I think Luka proved. He's one of the finalists for the MVP voting. So I know we were talking about the MVP voting. So this might nudge people in a particular direction if that voting isn't already in. But
Yeah.
I think also Kyrie, man. I don't know. Did you see that one pass from Kyrie in the air?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That was a dime.
Kyrie is nice, man. Kyrie is nice.
Kyrie, is this crazy to say? This is the most fit wise, not talent, because he was a much better player back in 2015, 2016.
Of course.
I'm saying mentally plus his physicality, he's a much better player. I think this is the best version of Kyrie we've ever seen.
Well, typically, if you're older and you're experienced and you're still killing people, it's because you've made some changes, And right as you get older, you're supposed to slow down. So if you're not slowing down, or if you're still giving buckets and performing, that means maybe your diet is better. Maybe you're more efficient in your game in terms of where you score from and when you choose to score and taking less reckless attempts, whatever that means. So when I watched the highlights, I said, man, Kyrie looks so good. Like he had some good defensive possessions. He got some good steals, and even the speed at which he drove the ball with, I was like, man, he still has it. Like he's still so fast, so quick. And I enjoyed it, man. So I wouldn't push back against what you're saying hard at all. I think it's pretty spot on. Obviously, definitely earlier on when he won that championship with Cleveland, we know what he was doing. But no, yeah, I agree. This Kyrie is locked in.
And I feel like mentally he's more content with being a second option. He's not searching to prove people that he's a first option like he was when he wanted to go to Boston.
Age, man, age. With age comes wisdom, right? You start realizing that the years left are much shorter than the years that have passed, right? So you start seeing that journey is going to come to an end much sooner than later, and if not end, you're not going to be the same level of player you were, right? Look at what Klay Thompson has been suffering with for the last couple years, and there's a whole bunch of conversations happening there. So these guys, remember, their lifespan as professional athletes is not long, right? So
Yeah, I agree for sure, 1,000%.
So I like the Maverick. I like this series. It's actually a really fun series to watch. It's two of my. I don't really like the Clippers as a team that much, but I like some of their pieces. Like I've always loved Kawhi Leonard, of course, and I like the fact that even though I wasn't a big Westbrook fan or a big Harden fan, obviously these guys owned the NBA for some time. So it's good to see these guys,
Yeah,
be in a playoff, make a run together, and it's nice.
yeah, for sure. I agree.
What did you think about the end of the New York Philadelphia game?
I thought they got robbed.
On which portion? Like, do you feel like they
I
like?
mean, the whole 2 minute report stuff. That stuff sound that to me. That's the dumbest thing ever. It's not like you're gonna replay and do all that. But to me, it was blatantly obvious that Jalen Brunson tugged on Tyrese's jersey. That's anyone in the whole gym could see that he tugged on his jersey. You got to call that. I feel like they got robbed. And I feel like the
Yeah,
refs swapped their whistle because they were in New York.
man, I think part of it is that, but I've noticed that at the end of games, there's just so much pandemonium, and refs in general, they swallow their whistles towards the end of the game, anyways. It's bad that the Sixers put themselves in that position, but at the same time, they shouldn't have been penalized. Like, they should have got the foul call, if not the timeout. Um, but someone, I think JJ Redick brought up a good point. He said the refs are in such a hard position because they're actively watching and listening at the same time. So they're watching what's happening on the court, but at the same time they have to listen to see if the coach is going to call a timeout. So it's not obviously not a very easy job, but in general, I love that game, man. I watched I think most of that game, if not the whole game, and I love the game, man. I love what both teams are doing. I love how Maxi has improved so much. Like I remember watching Maxi a couple of years ago, and I would get so frustrated watching him. Like, he's so one dimensional. He only finishes or goes to one hand. And bro, this guy was the type of shots he was hitting, the way at the speed of at which he was getting into the lane. I was thoroughly impressed. And on the Knicks side, man, watching Brunson go to work, watching Hart, watching some of their wings, and even the first quarter started with their big. I forget what's his name, man. Remind me of his name.
Hardenstein.
Hardenstein was like, he had that New York energy. He was
Yeah, the
playing big.
monster boards.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's been a fun series, and I think it's going to continue to be a fun series. Even if Philadelphia ultimately loses in five, I think it's going to be fun.
You think Tyrese just improved that much, or you think it's just what we said about Kyrie? Maturity is one of the aspects, of course, and obviously James Harden not being there, his opportunities tripled,
I
and he
think
has
all
more
of it.
opportunities to show his display of talent.
I think it's all of it. I think the fact that Harden, who's so ball dominant, has left, and now this puts the ball in your hand and it gives you the opportunity to create shots for yourself, create shots for others. I think then some of it is skill development. Like, he works out with this famous trainer here in Plano. I don't know if you knew that or not. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So he works out. He's obviously getting. Some of these guys continue working at their craft. Some of it is definitely maturity, right? You get some years in the league, you start learning different tendency of other players. You learn some tendencies about yourself. So I think it's all of the above, man, and I think it's been really exciting to watch his growth. Ultimately, it's maybe a hot take, but if Embiid don't figure this thing out soon, man, Embiid might be one of those guys that never cracks one, man. He never gets a ring.
I felt like that too, but and be such a talented player, having him as your second best player is crazy. That's just a crazy thought to me. I don't know how you can, because he's so injury prone, he can't be your best player, but he's also a top 3 player. So what, is he going to come to Dallas? Is that the only way he can win a championship?
So here I'm looking at a couple of things right now. So he's 30 years old, which is not good for a big man, in my opinion. I'm
I
trying
say,
to
but
look
he
for his.
sat 2 years though.
Say again.
He sat 2 years.
Well, that's all also not a good
I
thing
mean,
for
that's
him,
also an
right?
injury. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So 2017, 7, 8 years ago, he had knee surgery. Um, then in 2018, he broke a part of his face. Remember, he had that contusion.
Yeah, the mask.
Uh, yeah, he suffered with soreness a lot. I'm looking at all this load management, knee soreness, knee soreness. I'm trying to see if they had any other surgeries. Injury recovery 2021. Hmm. I
Feet.
thought there'd be more. His list is quite extensive, which is crazy.
No, but to
Like,
be fair, when he's allowed to play, he always plays.
oh no, he
Even when
kills
he's,
it.
even when he's nicked up, he'll always suit up.
No, no. There's no doubt about. I
He's
think
not
he's a
soft.
killer.
He's just
No, no,
unlucky.
no. I'm not saying he's soft, but I'm saying at some point the injuries do catch up, right? So like every year having to do load management, it comes with a cost. Like, look at what happened right now. He had a relatively healthy season, and they lost him literally at the worst time possible, right? And then he comes back right before the playoffs, but
Yeah.
he's still not 100%. So I think, like you said, yes, if he's ever going to be the first option for teams, and you put all your bread and cheddar at him, right, and build around him, then you're gonna hurt yourself because you cannot rely on his health. And I'm not saying he's weak. I'm not saying he's soft. I'm not saying he's injury prone. It's just reality, right? When you're that big and you're that good and you can shoot, you can post, you can drive off the 3 point line, you're gonna put more pressure on your body. We know we've talked about before his diet and some of his other habits. So I don't know, man. I think like you said, it's probably at some point it's like you got to wake up and say I need to join a couple of other stars and make this work. That's my take.
I agree, but like honestly, it won't. He won't do it, but he shouldn't be out there right now.
Mm,
That was the first thing with him and with Kawhi.
mm.
Kawhi should not have been on the floor yesterday, and Joel Embiid should not be on the floor right now.
Mm.
That's just what it is. I know you're a ball player. You want to play. You want to be on the floor. You want to fight for your brothers. You want to fight for your teammates. But those guys, there's a deeper story. There's a longer story that still can be told. It's not the last dance of the NBA. It's not the last year of all NBA, and you got to go all in this year. Of course, you still want to win every game possible, but you're limiting your career right now for fighting for your brothers.
The problem with Kawhi, I don't think that's the case with Kawhi in the sense Kawhi, I think is the type of guy if
Yeah,
he wanted to sit out, he probably would
he
just
is
sit
that guy.
out.
But I'm
Yeah,
saying yesterday he didn't look like Kawhi.
but I think this is Kawhi for the rest of his career, man. It's been Kawhi for the last whatever years. So
I'm
I
saying like
think
you'll
this.
see when he's getting contested on a jump shot, he's like protecting his legs.
Mm,
Like he's back, like he's not following through. He's fading away.
freaking Zaza Pachulia, man.
Yeah,
Freaking
he
Zaza.
haunted him for the rest of his career.
We got we got to get this clip to Zaza, man. Thank you, Zaza. Uh, no, I think with Embiid, I hear you because he's still young enough. He's 30. Um, I don't. Yes, I agree that Embiid probably should have been smart and just sat out. But this is again for the love of the game, man. You get deep, you get in a good position. You're like, you know what? I think we can beat these guys. This is, you're an athlete, man. The ego can take over at times, right? To your own detriment and to your own downfall, and that's probably to some extent what's happening with these guys. And I get it. Again, we put your GM or coach hat on. You're like, no, I'm going to sit the guy. I'm not going to sit him. But at the same time, I understand their own psychology. These guys have been taught for most of their lives since they were kids that they need to compete and go through pain and gut it out, right? So sometimes it's hard to turn that off. And man, if you got a team doctor who's going to wrap up the knee and do this and do that, say, yeah, he's good to go. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's always two sides to the story. I
Oh yeah.
completely see where your thought is, and I'm not gonna say that didn't cross my mind, but I don't know. I
No,
feel
I get
like
it.
when there's so much money invested in this product, you got to keep it as safe as possible.
No, I get it 100%, man. I'm right there with you. Um, I'm right there with you. So let's move on. I want to move on just real quick. Don't spend too much time on it, but I think we talked about it a little bit. Did we go into details about Wolves Suns?
No,
So I think we mentioned in the beginning, right, man? I think maybe they'll get a game. The Suns might get a game, but so far, just from what I'm seeing, like yesterday, the Suns were actually doing quite well in the beginning of the game. Like Nurkic was really going against Gobert, trying to score on him. Who's their backup big? The guy that was on the
not
Spurs and
Nasri.
no, no,
Are you talking about for the Suns?
yeah, Eubanks.
Oh, Eubanks. Yeah, Eubanks.
Yeah, Eubanks was doing a decent job. Beal was trying to get his scoring. Booker was trying to get his scoring. No, that's not the guy's name.
No, Landale.
No, no, Landale's not on the Suns anymore.
Is it you?
Landale was
Both?
on the Suns. It's Eubanks.
Is it Eubanks?
Yeah, let me see. Suns.
Because I thought Eubanks played for the Celtics.
Yeah, Drew Eubanks.
He's on the Suns now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like he played 17
Yeah,
minutes
that's
yesterday.
right. That's right.
Yeah, he played 17 minutes yesterday. Got 8 points. But again, man, just from looking at it, I just don't know how the Suns can continue to compete, play after play, Uh, like these guys are even showing Rudy more. Like they're bringing Rudy out on switches, which they historically people didn't want. Like he didn't want to do because he would get burned. But he's coming out. He's contesting outside perimeter players. Um, and I remember I hate to say it like this, but like Chuck and these guys used to say like, live by the jump shot, die by the jump shot, right? So if you've turned into like a pure jump shooting team, and another thing which is terrible for as much of a mid-range jump shooting team they are, I think they're almost last in 3-point attempts. The Suns
Attempts or makes?
attempts.
Hmm.
So in this era, you gotta be jacking those 3-point ups, brother. So I don't know.
Is that if you don't want to, you at least got to lock it down.
Or yeah, or attack the rim.
No, I'm saying you got to lock down on defense.
Yeah, you got. I mean,
You want
there's
to
a
go
couple.
straight twos, you got to lock down on defense.
Yeah. But again, man, it's I feel bad because like I love Booker, I like KD. Um, I just think the makeup of the team, man, with those two, and then with our friend from DC, what's his name, Beal.
Bill.
The fact that Beal has been injured for a lot of the season, and now he's out there with these boys, it's sad.
I mean, where do you think they go from now? Because they're going to lose the series.
It's
Or
that, bro.
trade
That's
KD, you
not
trade
asking us.
Bradley,
Let's say Devin
you blow it
Booker
up and trade all three.
contract length.
I think Book's under wraps.
The contract will run through 2023, 2024. What? Is he going to be a free agent?
Surely restricted, if he is.
He signed a 5-year maximum contract in July 2018. Bro, I think his contract is up.
Devin Booker or Kevin Durant?
The book. Bro, are you telling me
Is
that
he
Devin
is he a
Booker?
restricted agent?
Let's look it up. Devin Booker free agency. This is too old of an article. Oh, come on. No, he signed this 4-year supermax in 2022. So he's got 2 more years left, it looks like.
Yeah, I was about to say, no way they let him get to his final year like that.
Oh, man, he got 2 more years left. Kevin Durant contract.
I think Bradley Beal might be closest to free agency.
Okay, let's look at this. Kevin Durant signed a 4-year, $160 million contract. Oh my God, 61. Wow.
What year?
Um, 2019. No, this website might just not be updated. We might have found a loophole here, brother. Found a. Let's see. So, even on Hoops Hype, it's a website I go to regularly.
You got a basketball
Yeah.
reference.
Basketball Reference.
I like that. I like that for stats, but I don't know if they have like contracts and stuff.
Oh no, KD's locked up until the end of 2026. Come on.
I'm saying they
Yeah,
could pick him. He doesn't have to walk.
yeah, but you gotta find a willing. I mean, I know there's always partners available, right?
I'm saying you're not really gonna give up any star players for Kevin Durant. It's gonna be a lot of draft picks and young players.
Bro, he's gonna make $51 million
You want?
next
Yeah.
year. So how you gonna make that work, man? Who you gonna get rid of, man?
That's just the going rate.
Man.
Crazy.
We got homeboy Kawhi Leonard is making 45 this year. LeBron's making 47. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, man. I think honestly, if they lose, they're definitely gonna try to make moves. They're definitely gonna try to make. There's no question. They can't bring this back again.
Because what I saw a stat the other day is like they don't have a pick to like 2029 or something stupid
Maybe,
like that.
maybe you try to trade it to a team that has some cap space and get some draft picks. I don't know.
OKC, KD back to OKC.
I would love it. I think OKC needs one more. They need a third. They need a third, right?
It would be nasty.
Oh, bro, with him and Chet, the length of him and Chet,
Jalen Williams, KD, and Chet.
the Pelicans game, the game two, the first game that they had. Oh man, it was exciting. It
Man, all
that
the way
that's
down to the buzzer.
That was another game that was super exciting. Let's see what the final score of that game was. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, 92-94, bro.
Yeah.
92-94. And
DJ
then,
shot, man.
huh?
DJ had that look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was a
No,
tough shot, but he had the look.
it was a good game, man. It was a good game. And then, what have you thought about Nuggets? What did you think about the Nuggets and Lakers?
Are you big into boxing?
Certain weight classes. Big, I wouldn't say big, but I'm competent. Like I know boxers. Yeah, I used to follow boxing.
Like, did you watch like the Deontay Wilder and the Tyson Fury
Yes.
trilogy?
Yes.
So, do you remember after the first fight, in that last round when Deontay knocked him out in the last round and he stood up?
He came back
He
up.
he did a Showtime interview, like leading up to the second fight. He said that was the hardest I ever hit someone, and they stood up. From that moment on, I knew Deontay Wilder could never beat Tyson Fury. From that moment on, he could never, no matter how good he boxed, no matter how hard he punched him, he couldn't win that fight. That's how I feel the Lakers are right now. The Lakers are Deontay Wilder right now. They play good. They're like, oh, okay. LeBron, AD, they come out for 60. We just need someone to come with us. D'Lo comes with you with 7 threes. And you still lose. And you got a 20-point lead.
But the way that I'm telling you again, another game. If you watch the last 2 minutes of that game was exciting,
Great.
man. The way that game finished and that shot that Murray hit, man. Wow.
You know, I was so mad I was watching the game, but I didn't see it. I looked away for like 10 seconds, and I came back, everyone tackled Jamal. I was so pissed.
That's the worst when that happens, yeah. Yeah, Tyson Fury. The power of the Almighty. Like, I remember, it's all the power of the Almighty that got me up. Like, yeah,
It's crazy, man. I don't know. I feel like they're like, what more do we have to do?
No, they're done, bro.
They played a perfect game.
The Lakers are done. That's the worst. When you play a perfect game and the other team takes your best shot and they still win, like you said, that's demoralizing.
And we gotta talk about Jamal Murray. We gotta put some respect on that dude's name.
No, I mean Jamal Murray is one of the best guards in the league, bro. I mean, we know that, and he was in there.
He was really struggling that whole game.
Yeah.
And so those last couple minutes, it felt like he couldn't miss.
Hooper, you got to be a hooper, bro. That's what hoopers do. You can struggle the whole game, but
that's a clutch ball player for sure.
Yeah, he would have been in that elite conversation a lot earlier if he didn't go down with that. Was it MCL or ACL?
ACL.
And he missed, like, it happened in the postseason, if I remember correctly.
No, it happened like midway through the year, like 2 years ago.
And he missed that season, and then he missed the next season, right?
Yeah, he basically missed the whole year.
Yeah, like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was already well on his way. So I think I love the way that team is constructed. I do believe, though, if they pull it off this year, they're also going to have to retool. I really do believe they're going to have to retool.
The Lakers?
The Nuggets. Not completely. I feel like they're, bro. Okay, who was that? The shifty defensive guard, was it Brown? Who did they lose last year?
Oh, Bruce Brown.
Bruce Brown was nice for them.
Oh, you mean just like get like role players, like get better role players?
Yeah. I'm not saying they got to trade.
Oh, I thought you meant like trade MPJ or something.
No. They just have to retool some of their role players. Yeah, I like the Nuggets though, man. The Nuggets are looking nice. I think ultimately, let me see how I close it out, man. Give me 1 second. NBA playoff brackets.
Like the Nuggets really remind me of like those Tom Brady Patriots. So I'm like, dang, man, they're losing 14 right now. 3 minutes left. Oh, game's over. Next thing you know, they start coming back, inching back. Next thing you know, they're winning. Next thing you know, they won.
We're gonna have probably Thunder, Mavericks, and then you're gonna have Timberwolves, Nuggets. That is gonna be interesting because you got Cat and you got Rudy.
You got the best defense team in the NBA.
Yes, and you got Anthony Edwards, who you've seen is not scared of the moment. He ain't scared to trash talk. He's not scared of the shot. You got some veteran leadership with Conley. That is
Jaden McDaniels.
Say again? Yes.
Jaden McDaniels.
Oh yes.
Sure.
He's
a baller.
He's been playing great for them, and also it's exciting, man. It's like we talked about earlier, man. This is some of my favorite time of the year, man, is time for NBA playoffs, right? It's just enjoyable,
Yeah.
and you get to just kind of sit back and watch these games, man, and enjoy, right?
I was talking to I think my dad or one of my friends about this. Like, what? Why do they turn it up in the playoffs? Like, why can't they play like this all the time?
Well, imagine if you played like this all the time. Go ahead.
I was just saying, I was like, are they tired? Do they not care? I was like, it's understandable that, oh, I'm a Dallas Mavericks player. I got to travel to LA on a Tuesday, and then I got to be in New York on a Thursday. Yeah, of course you get fatigued. So it just dawned on me. I was like, man, 82 games is a lot.
Of course, bro. How do you
82
feel
games is a
after
lot.
one?
Would it not be better if they limited it to 60 games? You play everyone twice, and then your quality of games are way better. But of course, they would never do that because you're gonna lose TV money. But would that not just make the
Yeah,
content of
the,
basketball so much better?
the quality of the games would get better. The rest period would get better. All these star players that take all the rest time anyways would be able to play in every single game.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there'd be probably a less likelihood of players getting injured. They probably get to spend more time at home. You know, so I agree. I think I had this discussion privately with somebody where like let's be honest, there was a time where I would try to watch all the basketball games all the time. Now that I'm getting older, I've got kids. The beginning of the season is exciting. The middle of the season, and I hate to admit this because people used to say this and it would drive me crazy. The middle of the season, you kind of feign a little bit, wane, your interest wanes, and you go away, and then you start getting closer as the playoffs get back, right?
Sure.
But I think it would make for a much better product overall. But at the end of the day, remember the individuals who design the product, they want to maximize the amount of money they can make from it. So we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I money reasons they'll never do it, but that just makes so much more sense to me.
I agree, bro. No, I think it's a fantastic idea. I think to answer your first question about why do they turn it up in the playoffs, historically, I have seen players who get paid just based on what people see in the playoffs, right? So it's very easy for some of these GMs to say, "Oh, he's got to see. I told you he's got the wow factor. Did you see what he did in the playoffs? Get paid, and then halas disappear, or you do much less." So these guys are also smart. They know that the most eyes are on them in the playoffs. Look, let's give them some sincerity in the sense that they probably want to win a chip. Some of these guys are sincere. They think they could win a chip, and they know that now they're in the playoff contention where they can do that.
Yeah. Obviously, Jimmy's the most glorified version of this
Yeah.
playoff Jimmy. I mean, to be honest, we were just talking about him. Jamal Murray is like that too.
Mm.
Jamal Murray is a very good point guard in his own right, but come playoff time, he's the best. He's one of the best, and I just don't see why you can't turn it up every game.
I think in terms of turning on, bro. Again, I think there is like, look, imagine if you went hard all the time at something, right? Burnout, injury, things of this nature. I think it is smart. Like what happened as MJ got older, MJ stopped taking it to the rack, and MJ started settling for that beautiful jump shot, that beautiful fadeaway, right? So I think you also have to become smarter as you get older and realize the body can't take the same damage and the same toll it once used to. I'm not making excuses for the guys who are lazy and don't bring it because of their smoking or whatever it may be that they're doing that makes them lazy and tired. But just a thought.
But that's the difference is that like, okay, MJ did that, but they were winning.
Yeah, yeah. I
Miami
mean, also,
barely got out the play-in last year.
yeah, yeah.
Like
Good
if
point.
you're cruising, but you're the third seed, okay, you're winning, but you're not winning, dude.
Not everybody understands what they have at hand, bro. Not everybody. Like I was reading something the other day, like about why so many former players go broke. These guys are not the most savvy when it comes to managing their lives, right? They don't understand that their investment, their business investment, is not the startups that they're investing in, or the medical marijuana, or the AI, and the this and that. No, it's their bodies. It's their bodies, right? Like LeBron James invests in his body, and you see what it has brought him. At the age of 40, he's making over $50 million a year just from his playing contract, not including endorsements and movie deals. So if these guys, like they used to say, my body is my temple, right? If you really understood that your body was sacred, and investing in it would pay tenfold, 20-fold, 30-fold dividends. I think I think these players understand this, but sometimes it hits them when they're older. They don't always get it right away.
Yeah, back to what we said about Kyrie. You
Yeah,
get
yeah,
smarter as
yeah.
you get older.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure if you talk to Kyrie and you said, "Look, open up, man. Do you regret leaving Cleveland?" I'm sure he's one of the types that would say, "Look, I don't regret anything," which I understand. But if you really kind of dug deep, and I'm sure he would have said, "Maybe I should have handled this a little better." And he's alluded to things like this. I didn't realize how good I had it. Da da da. That's why young people need uncles. Like we have ammus in our culture, and masjid uncles, and you need mentors and teachers and guides. We need this because young men, when that testosterone hits, and you feel invincible, and you're lifting some weights, and you feel like no one can touch you, it's
Yeah,
hard, man. When
yeah,
you're
you
in your
can
prime, it's
tell the
hard.
world. Yeah, I agree for sure.
What else, brother? Anything else on top of mind?
And I feel like I was remembering something I wanted to say, but man, it just crossed my mind.
All good. Yeah, I got two practices today, man. So we got the both teams. We won over the weekend. I didn't think we were gonna win the young team.
Mm.
Like I'm like we're not gonna beat this team. In your head you say these things, and then they scored on us like the first possession of the game very easily. I'm like, oh, this ain't good, and we wound up beating the team, man. So it's been exciting. And then I don't know if you know that Islamic Games thing that's happening over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw someone post about that.
Are you going?
Am I going?
Yeah,
No, I don't think so.
yeah, we'll be there. I signed up the team, so the guys are only 10 years old, but we're gonna play like a 13-year-old team. So I just
Uh,
want to see how they're gonna do. Uh, But we got practice today, man. I bought some new equipment for them. I bought the pads, the blocking pads. So I want these guys to start getting used to like driving into contact and being able to
oh
finish.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I
that's
bought the
something
pop.
I wish I had.
Oh,
I
bro,
never learned how to finish with contact until like
brother.
when I was way older.
Even imagine the coach or whoever the trainer meeting you at the perimeter on the 3-point line, and you literally just have to dribble him down, switch hands, dribble, switch, shift. I mean, there's so much benefit. I bought the pop-up defender type things. So today I'm gonna have them work on a lot of different drills to do things as a catch. So like movement, catching, shooting, movement, catching, ripping, driving. These guys get way too stagnant and just kind of stand around. So need to kind of change things up for them.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, that's what you kind of got to do with the kids because everyone likes to watch Ball's life highlights and the Kyrie Irving highlights.
Uh,
But they don't understand that the way you win is playing Spurs basketball. That's the way. If you want to win the easiest way, you just got to run a little more. You got to pass a little more. You got to play Spurs basketball
Get the best shot. Get the
for sure.
easiest or the
There's
best shot.
always a better shot.
Hey, brother, I can't. I could not have said it better, man.
Oh yeah.
Well, you see the gray and the black here, bro. This is dedicated to my Spurs. You know what I'm saying? So, I can't I can't argue against that, man. No, it's fun, man, with these guys, man. We have a real nice gym today. We have it's one of the middle schools over here, and it's like we got 6 rims. So this is the day that I used to really impact drills. Like another thing that people don't understand is these guys just don't get quality shots up, enough quality shots, right? Because these guys are either always playing at the park or doing this. Even just to have a practice of them shooting, just shooting, seeing that ball go through the net, catching and shooting, ripping, driving, jump stopping, shooting, etc. So, lot to
Yeah.
do.
Like I really feel like shooting on the shooting gun. That's really not to practice your shot. It's just to like build you know repetition. See the ball go in the net. See your form is consistent. It's just
You got
building consistency.
Yeah, you got to know how it feels, man, to catch, like, just getting enough reps. Because I remember when I started shooting more, you start noticing patterns. Okay, when I caught the ball a little bit different, or when I released it a little bit different, or when I didn't get my feet set, or when I did this and that. So I think you start noticing patterns, but you can use the shooting gun to simulate like real life catching and shooting, right? So if you're like, okay, I know the ball comes out every 5 seconds or 10 seconds, I'm gonna curl around this pop up defender, catch and shoot. It's good.
Yeah, I'm saying you see a lot of people they'll talk about, oh, I shot 1,000 shots on the gun today, but in game they can't hit. They can't hit anything. They can't even hit the whole goal.
There's probably other things that they're not doing, right? I mean, so the gun piece is good, but what are they like? Is the time intervals between the passes long? Are they not doing other type of training? So there's probably other issues there.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's good, brother. I appreciate it. I think a good episode,
All right.
and we'll
I'm
do it
done.
next. 1 second.